No, more and more, even here, it's off shelf. Even here, it is too expensive for the bosses of industry and the multinational. So they go to much cheaper countries where you can also exploit the people more easily. It means that the whole system of production has been totally changed. Why this is linked to Europe? Because globally speaking, Europe is the continent, probably the last continent for the moment, which has got a kind of social security system, health and education system, which is mainly paid by the state, by the public authorities. You can only sustain that, and pensions and everything you want. You can only sustain that if you produce wealth. If you produce wealth, you must be able to compete with the others. With this open market, totally open market, it is very difficult. So not so long ago, the EU understood that there are two crucial points for the development and keeping the level of, increasing the level of wealth and of social wealth, not only money, but also quality of life wealth in Europe. One of the keys is research, because the rhythm of changes of the products is going faster and faster. If you don't produce the new technology things, you're off shelf. You lose your market. So you lose wealth. The wealth goes somewhere else. So research is absolutely fundamental. And research, it's pure research, which is done in university, in research centers, and it's applied research, which is linked between industry and pure research. Research is very important. That's why, for instance, the countries, even the countries that still think they are big, like Germany, France, England, and so on, which are just mid-sized states now. And even Poland thinks sometimes it's big. I remember the brother Kaczynski, when they were saying that for the Treaty of Nice, the Europe should have counted the dead people killed during the war, so that they could have more representatives. So this is typical of a way of thinking that you are bigger than you are. Even these countries cannot cope with the investment you need for research. That's why Europe is now making kind of clusters between different universities, different research centers, so that we can cope with the main players in the new technology field, like Japan, like China, like the States. That's one point. And without Europe, we would be dead. That's something people should really understand. You will see I'm totally pro-European, and I'm at the same time extremely critical about the way Europe is run now. The second key of this development and keeping the wealth is creativity. They had in Europe 2 years ago the year of creativity and innovation. One of the major elements of creativity is culture. It's culture and art. So without this inventiveness of the people, you cannot create new things, new way, new systems. And this is absolutely global. The creativity, it's not only the artists themselves, as a kind of icons. It is also the way you are educating the kids. My kids finish the primary schools. They are killed by the school. I'm sometimes a bit too rough. You can make it softer. I think the schools are killing the creativity of the kids. I don't know how is the school system in Poland, but in many countries, it's just reproducing. It's just reproducing. And that's a fucking disaster. That is killing the creativity of the kids. They are full of creativity. Why? Why to stop this creativity? Why to stop these kids dreaming? So we've got to review. We've got to review the place of culture. We've got to review the school system. We've got to review the interaction between the creativity and the so-called serious domains of activity of mankind, which is politics, which is economics, and so on. Since only a few years, the EU, and I will come after to the system of the EU, I think it's necessary. Since only a few years ago, the EU understood a little bit of the importance of culture. Culture was totally refused entry in the EU for years and years and years. It did not exist. They were always saying, oh, if we should have started again, we should have started with culture. That's bullshit. They never believed it. They believe in serious thing, business. Only a few years ago they started to understand that, because they started to understand that to keep this wealth level, they needed culture. They also made some surveys. I'm not going too fast? Good. He's bold but quick. They made some surveys, very interesting surveys. When you see the lobbying power in Brussels of the automobile industry, for instance, it's incredible. They are buying all the members of parliament, they are buying newspapers, they are buying everything. And now, the last survey shows that in Europe, culture produces more money, more funds than the automobile industry, about 5%. And much more jobs, about 7%. So it means that if you want to take culture as an industry, which is stupid, I don't like it, but even like that, it is very, very important. So you cannot anymore say this is not important. It is very important. It is a fantastic opportunity. It is also a danger. The danger is instrumentalization, of course. You understand instrumentalization. This is a big danger, because suddenly the people are interested in Africa, not because of the Africans, not because they suffer. No, because there are lots of raw materials. No, everybody is jumping on Africa because there's iron ore, there's uranium, there's petrol, and that's the point. So now it's a very fantastic opportunity, and it's also, in a way, a big danger. I've just been showing you my New York state of mind, the global picture. Do you have any question at that level? And then I will enter into the animal, into the EU. No question? If I am too demoralizing you, tell me. Then I will paint things in pink a little bit, and then go back to darkness, to dark level. So the EU. They started a bit after the Second World War on one very positive idea, and for me a very negative idea. The very positive idea is no more war. No more war. And it started between France and Germany, and then after there were the countries of the Benelux and so on that came into. So this no more war, and also we are a continent where in the Middle Ages we used to speak Latin, at least the intellectuals and so on used to speak Latin. We have something in common in this country. So that's the very important thing. The wrong start of the EU, and people should always think about that when they think about the EU, is that the first name of the EU was the common market. The common market, never forget that. It means that the goal was to have the goods go freely from one market to another one, without borders.